Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fradenburgh, and I'm here for realestateisascam.com. And the whole site is about explaining all the things that I think are really, really iffy or sketchy about the industry as a whole. I'm particularly in commercial real estate, and I'm focusing on the multifamily, in other words, picking up apartment complexes. But I put this resource out here for anybody who really wants to know what the deal is as far as real estate goes, and is the whole thing just one great big scam? But more importantly, what do full timers do to make sure that they don't get hit by scams? The topic I want to talk about today is direct to seller approach of acquiring your real estate deals, and how it's basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. What happens is, all these different coaching programs, they always teach you to look for signs of distress in a property. So that would mean that basically, no matter what the person who's running it or owns it, they don't really care enough about the property in order to keep it in good shape. So maybe it means that there's trash lying around, or the grass hasn't been trimmed, or whatever. And sometimes it happens just because there was some other kind of financial difficulty. Maybe there's a divorce or a death or something like that. But the whole idea of the direct to seller approach is that you're calling up people who own buildings, and you're saying, hey, like, do you have any buildings that are a pain in your ass? Let me take them off your hands. Let me invest some money into them and make them look nicer, and we'll get a better quality of tenant in there, or different things like that. But basically they say whatever they can to try and get you to sell to them, and say, oh, no, 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 no. Well, or what they'll do is they'll have their own broker, and they'll say, like, realtor, and they'll say, okay, well, yeah, you can just work with my guy, and or they'll get both sides. Or sometimes if they're talking to a broker, they'll do stuff like that. But the main thing is, I just saw somebody commenting on how they're taking somebody to court because they didn't really think to go to a realtor. The question is, like, what is it that a broker will do for a seller that, if they're not in the mix, is really, really bad for them? Well, the answer is this entire industry is based on comps. Okay, in other words, comparisons. So what you do is you find a similar property in the same area, and you find out how much that is. And now usually you'll find that you won't find an exact match. It's not like you're going to find two of the exact same property, and even if you did, it'd probably be owned by the same person anyway. So it's not, you're never going to have a perfect comp. But the idea is, like, if you get a range of five or six or eight properties that are similar, then you'll know it's like, okay, well, this is what they sold for, this is what they sold for recently. And then you can do the same thing with other properties that are even closer. So that's how everybody decides on if you're getting a decent price. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that a broker's job is to make sure that you're fetching top dollar. But one of the appeals of the direct to seller approach is that you're talking to somebody who's actually going to be doing the deal. You're not talking to a wholesaler who's going to just be turning around and selling it to somebody else. Basically, if you're talking to a wholesaler and somebody who's not going to buy and hold it, I suppose that's one thing you can ask, is like, are you going to buy and hold this property, or are you going to wholesale it? Because if the person's going to wholesale it, then that means that you, the seller, you're not getting a good enough price. So that's basically the long and short of it. That's the quick stuff as far as the direct to seller approach and how it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Uh, Basically, all that was going through my head before I hit record was, how stupid would you feel if you found out that you got, like 100 grand less for your property than you could have, or something like that? You'd feel really stupid. Now, of course, if you are actually stupid, that's a different thing. But we're not really concerned about whether you are stupid or not. We're concerned about if you feel stupid. And selling something that you own, one of your greatest assets, for way too little money, that's definitely one of those things that would be on those lists. Anyway, if you want to find out more things like this, go to realestateisascam.com. If you want to meet up with commercial real estate investors like myself, you can go to dandoesdeals.com. We have a meetup that I'm doing every Tuesday morning right now. And I apologize if that's not going anymore, but as far as right this second, while I'm recording, it's still going. So dandoesdeals.com, realestateisascam.com. And if you want to see some funny stuff, you can go to figureitout.com. You can go to danfradenburgh.com. You can go to funnelfixing.com. I got sites. I got lots and lots of sites. And I got lots of videos, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.